Welcome back once again, everyone, to the discombobulated disaster area, also known as the Doom Lab. I'm your host, Doomwaves. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing a sort of update of sorts. I've beaten several games in the last couple of weeks that I haven't done game discussions on. A few of them I did one game discussion on, and on my old phone, I did upgrade to an iPhone 5, so I do have a new phone. So this video is probably better quality than the last, but somewhere in the mixture there, my video kind of got. I don't know what happened to it. It's actually on my computer, but I can't preview it. Simply by opening it. For some reason, it won't let me do that. So I'm not sure if I can upload it or not. I'm going to try still because I think it's a good game discussion. So I will reserve, most discussion about these games for the hope that that I can somehow resurrect that video from the dead. But if I can't, oh well, not a big deal. Not sure anyone would care about it anyway. And that is a game discussion over the Call of Duty Modern Warfare trilogy. I actually did play through and beat all three games in about a 2 week span. The first one, probably the best. The first one is really amazing if you're even a moderate fan of military first-person shooters or just good first-person shooters in general. I really recommend that you try this game at the very least. You don't have to invest in the whole series if you don't want to, or the whole trilogy, but this one is really good and can stand on its own two legs. Unlike the other two, who really are still really fantastic. Second one is really good too. But really, these two ultimately should have just been one release because the campaign in both of these clocks in under 5 hours each. So that's really kind of shameful for the series. But these two especially really came out to a kind of a brand new multiplayer audience who are coming off the heels of the success of the multiplayer in this one and World at War. So really, that's really where these two, the heart of these two games is in the multiplayer experience. But the first-person or single-player campaign is still really good, especially if you play them close together as a trilogy. It's just a really good story. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it if you don't want to, but it is a really a pretty solid first-person shooter series. Okay, aside from that, as a kind of an aside, Mario Kart 8. Really, I'm not sure I'm going to do like a full-blown pickups video this month. It's not quite over yet. Today's like the 17th. I've done a couple of package unboxings already this month, and other than the things that I received in those packages, I haven't picked anything up besides Mario Kart 8, which was also still a gift, and it's it came along. I knew that I was getting it when I had my Wii U unboxing or unveiling, whatever, surprise package. That was when I knew that I was getting this game. So really, still not even really considered a pickup at this point. But it is here. I've talked about it a little bit. I don't know if I've talked about it here on the channel, but I know I've talked about it on the podcast, of course. And we did a game night, so you can see some gameplay from the Another Gaming Podcast community. There was a bunch of us playing. It was a lot of fun. This is a fantastic game. I won't say that I've completed it, and I'm definitely not done yet. I have beaten Gold Cup, got the Gold Cup on all 8 cups in the 50cc category, and about half of them on the 100cc category. So I mean, I'm about halfway there, but of course the 100 and 150cc category is quite a bit more difficult than the 50cc. Really slow category, but still a lot of fun. Fantastic multiplayer experience. My wife is really into this too, and that's really awesome. It's a great thing to just kind of come home and relax and kick back with some Mario Kart with my wife and also with friends too. It's a lot of fun to play. Definitely a multiplayer heavy game at this point. I don't know how much more I will play solo. I still would like to play through the rest of the cups, all the different speed selections, but I don't know. Maybe we'll still co-op those and try to finish those up. Next game, I've been catching a lot of crap for playing this game ever since I started, basically, which was months ago. I think I bought this around Christmas time. Walmart had it for just $20, which for a Mario game is a pretty good deal. $20 for a brand new copy. I've been taking my time with it, and I did finally beat Paper Mario Sticker Star. This game is one of those weird experiences. It was my first foray into the Paper Mario series, which I hear is a fantastic series. And I kind of started at the bottom of the barrel, from what I've heard. I think that from what I understand, they only get better from here. But that's saying a lot because. Well, I guess I don't know. It's not saying a whole lot, I guess, because I really like this game. So if they get better from here, then that's awesome. But it's not like I have to make myself play the other games in the series because I had a lot of fun with this. It's definitely got some annoying mechanics. The whole sticker thing. If you don't know much about the game, your attacks, you use stickers instead of your standard RPG attacks or Paper Mario attacks. Where you have like an infinite amount of jumps and things like that. You have consumable stickers that once you use it, it's gone. Of course, you don't really have to worry about running out because the stickers themselves are all over the place. You just go and peel them off walls and stick, and then you have them. And then not only that, but you also collect coins and you can buy them. And they're hidden in question mark blocks and stuff. I mean, they're everywhere. They're so plentiful. You're not going to run out ever. You're not going to have to spend a lot of time farming for coins or anything like that to go buy more stickers. You're pretty much going to have what you need all the time. And with the exception of the final boss, Bowser, of course, with the exception of Bowser, you're really not going to have a whole lot of trouble because most of them are pretty self-explanatory what you need to do. There are some areas that I felt were a little bit. I don't want to say they were too hard because there wasn't anything I couldn't figure out, but there was definitely some sections that what you needed to do was so vague that it was just so puzzle heavy. I don't know. Namely, the one that I probably had the most trouble with and the one I got stuck on for the longest time was a place called the Enig Mansion, which is essentially a ghost house. In Mario proper games, and what you're doing in the Enig Mansion is you're supposed to be finding all of these different the ghosts, the spookies, or whatever they're called. You're supposed to be finding them, boos, whatever they're called. You're supposed to be finding them, and there's a bunch of them, but you don't know how many. It never tells you a number of how many you're supposed to find, and it never tells you how many you have. So it's like you spend so much time, and they're in kind of vague places. There was the last one that I ended up finding was hidden inside of a clock, and in order to find it, you had to hit the clock and make it come out. It was just pretty vague and some weird places like that. So it took a lot of time, and I had actually gotten stuck and put it down for a couple of months, because I started this game not too long after I picked it up, and I think that I put it down for a while and ended up picking it back up again, and then picked it back up just, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, and slowly went through it and finished the game, and I'm really glad to be done with it. To be just to be done with it, because like I said, there were a few annoying things, but all in all, I really had a lot of fun with it, and nothing in this game takes itself seriously, and I'm okay with that. Just a really simple game. It's hard to call it an RPG because it really wasn't. You know, I'm gonna get blasted for saying this, but it had a lot more in common with like a Zelda game than it did with with like an RPG or even a Mario game. Like it I don't know. It just felt more like that. I don't know. Don't hate me for saying that. It's just kind of an observation. And okay, now we get into something that's more my style. And this, I don't actually have a standalone copy of this game. I just have the collector's edition trilogy pack that I got from Ducky Doo Gaming. But I did finally beat the first half of Final Doom, TNT. Now, there's two parts to Final Doom. There's the TNT Evolution and the Plutonia Experiment. I did just play TNT. I started Plutonia Experiment from time to time, like a couple of different times, and it's at least the first couple of stages anyway. It's a little bit harder. I never put any like serious time into it, but TNT was quite a bit easier. I really liked the straightforwardness to the earlier levels, especially. Like I just really enjoyed how linear they were. Now, and I'm one of those weirdos, I guess, that doesn't mind linear things. The first Doom game, especially the Ultimate Doom, the first. We'll say the first 3 episodes. We'll exclude Thy Flesh Consumed, the 4th episode, because it was a little bit heavier. But the first 3 episodes, Knee Deep in the Dead, Shores of Hell, and Inferno, are really straightforward, really linear levels, with a couple exceptions in Inferno, where they were pretty vague on some things, especially like Limbo, one of the very last levels. Man, I remember getting stuck on Limbo, fitting name, for a long ass time when I was a kid, because it was just, I don't know, it's just a weird level. But now going back, it's actually one that I have some of the most fun with, if I'm running through the Ultimate Doom. Randomly, which I do quite frequently. It's actually one of my favorite levels now. I kind of, I go to it and kind of try to practice it a little bit. It's not that I do Doom speedruns. I've actually never done a Doom speedrun, but I do like to play the levels. I mean, just for grins. And Limbo is one that I like to go back to from time to time because it is a cool level. But back to Final Doom. I liked the linear feel to the earlier levels. A few of the little bit later ones got quite a bit harder, but some of the earlier ones really reminded me of levels in Doom 1. And I was reading up a little bit, and I appreciate how much time goes into some of these descriptions of some of these games that people put up, because they've all got fan fiction stories added to them and all this other stuff. Especially because Final Doom was a fan made product. It wasn't something that was made by id Software. It was just they used whatever level editor in the Doom engine to create their own maps for Doom 1 and Doom 2, mainly Doom 2, and put them together, at least with, I think they're both 32 levels long, which is about right for a 3 episode experience, 3 episode game. And I don't know the whole story, but basically the guys at id, or Romero specifically, or I don't know who exactly, really liked it, and decided, hey, we're going to publish this. You know, we're going to put this out there as Final Doom. You know, as kind of a, I don't want to say a swan song, but kind of a swan song, I guess, for the series at that point. Of course, years later, we did get Doom 3, and even, you know, Doom 64 had come out, you know, on the N64 at some point in there too, which was an all new experience as well. But Final Doom, really, it's kind of a misleading title because it's not the last Doom game, and it's also not just Doom 1 and just Doom 2. It's a whole different thing. So I'm really excited to play through the rest of Plutonia, but I think it's going to be a little bit before I finish that one because I think it's a little bit tougher. But TNT was a lot of fun. I really liked the 3 different episodes were pretty specific areas. You know, like the first episode of it was they called it like experimental labs, and everything had kind of a laboratory kind of feel to it. And then the second set was like military bases, and there was like a shipping area where there's like some conveyor belts with boxes and stuff. It was kind of cool. And then the third set of levels was like your hell type levels, similar to Inferno. You know, lots of fire, lots of lava, you know, that sort of thing. And they were a lot tougher. I didn't play on Ultraviolent. I played on whatever the second one's called, not the easiest, the normal one, whatever it's called. That's where I played the game, and it's a lot of fun. I'm still really looking forward to trying out the PlayStation version at some point, but I'm really happy to have the PC version. I already had it on the PC, but I didn't have a physical version, so really nice to have a physical version of Final Doom. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Ducky Doo Gaming, for hooking me up with that. And the last game that I beat, besides that stack of 6 games, I did finally beat Mario Picross on the 3DS. I know this is kind of a lackluster finale for games I beat recently, but in Mario Picross, I really, really, really like Picross games. And if you're unfamiliar with Picross, it's kind of like it's a puzzle game, but I don't want to call it like crossword. It's kind of set up like crossword puzzles, in as far as just it's squares, and you know, it's kind of like Sudoku in a way. Basically, you've got a grid, and it's all blank when you start, and there's numbers off to the side of each line, on the vertical side and on the horizontal side. And it's full of numbers, and it tells you how many filled in spaces are in that line or this line. It tells you how many filled in spaces there are, and then once you're done, once you've had everything filled in, it's supposed to have made a picture. Hence Picross. You know, so it's kind of a fun thing to do. It's going to be around your crossword puzzle, word search type games, you know, on paper, or even, you know, there's iPhone apps and Android apps and things like that. But this one is specifically Mario Picross, even though it has nothing to do with Mario. They just put his face and his name on it and called it Mario Picross. But it's a lot of fun. It's an original Game Boy game. I bought it. I actually didn't buy it. I got it for free on the 3DS. I cashed in some Nintendo Club points because I really wasn't too interested in collecting any of the things that they had on the site. So I opted, at least at that point, for a free game. And I don't regret it at all. I put something like 21 hours into it. I mean, that's a long time to play a free game. 21 hours into Mario Picross, and it has... oh god, I should have done the math before. 192 levels. 3 sets of 64, whatever that is. That's how many levels it has. In easy, normal, and then a hard mode. So it took a long time, but I'm finally done with 190 some Picross puzzles, and I'm glad I'm done with it. But I still really like Picross games, and kind of want another one to kind of tide me over. I do have Picross 3D, which is just a little bit different. It's a DS game where you're actually making a 3D object, but using the same Picross mechanics. It's different. It's you got to wrap your mind around it if you're used to playing standard Picross. But there is a Picross DS game that is just standard Picross, but I haven't picked up a copy of that yet. I really need to, because that would be a lot of fun to play. I was going to talk about some games that I've been playing besides those that I've beaten, as sort of like a not really a summer backlog challenge thing, because I don't really want to do that. But I don't really have a ton of time. Well, I have time, but this video is already 21 minutes long, something like that. So I'll just keep it really short. I have been playing Prey for the Xbox 360. It comes pretty highly recommended to me by Steven the Lag Gamer, who actually sent me this copy of this game. I will say it is definitely my kind of first-person shooter. Very Doom and Duke-esque. It's a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's like got a kind of a story in there that they're trying to. I don't want to say they're trying to be real serious about it, but it is there, and it's kind of a weird story, and I don't know. It's got to do with Native American lore and things like that, which is fine. I don't mind it, but I don't know. It's just really kind of slow, kind of boring, and it's kind of dragging the game down a little bit, but it's not bad. It's you're shooting aliens and things like that, Doom and Duke style, so it's not bad. The other thing that I've been playing a little bit is Halo 4. Jumped back online because I did re-up my Xbox Live, at least for now. Just wanted to play some online, and pretty hyped for upcoming Halo releases, so I won't lie and say that wasn't why I did it, but I jumped on, played a little bit of Halo 4 multiplayer, and also finally getting into the Spartan Ops, which is about time, because they've been out for a long time now, and I'm just now getting to them. But so far they're a lot of fun too. Haven't got too far into it, but I plan on doing more very soon. So that's about it. I don't know what I'm going to play on my 3DS next. It's kind of daunting, but really the only thing that I have left to play unbeaten on 3DS besides Mahjong Cubed is Devil Summoner Soul Hackers, which not looking forward to. So I don't know. I might start it. I might start over. I might try to pick up where I left off, and I might just play a DS game instead. I don't know, but I am out of things to play on my 3DS for the most part, so I need to pick something up. But anyway, that is about it. I want to thank you all for watching, and you're still watching at this point. That's awesome of you, because this is definitely a long-winded video where I talk way too much, and for that I am sorry. But I felt like making a video, so sue me. Thanks for watching. Doom Waves out.